people interact with each other over this fabulous food and just the day. So let me welcome you. My name is Darlene Hansis. I'm a professor of communication and women's studies, and it's been my honor for the past 2 years to chair the Charlotte Zietlow Women Faculty Research Grant Selection Committee. Try that. And that is why I'm at the podium. And so I want to really thank Provost Maynard for appointing me to that position and for the incredible thrill it is to work with that committee. And that brings us here today along with August 26th. So I love this day. It's always special when August 26th coincides with the first day of school. And I know that some of you can tell me exactly how often that happens, but what I'm going to tell you is it feels like it happens very rarely. So Women's Equality Day and education seem to go together so incredibly well, perhaps because we know that education is and has been the most effective means of achieving equality in societies and of pursuing social justice, to which we are all committed. Women's Equality Day was established in 1971 as a result of the work by Bella Abzug in Congress. And each year since 1971, the President of the United States has issued a proclamation designating August 26th Women's Equality Day. The resolution designating August 26th Women's Equality Day celebrates the final adoption of the 19th Amendment, thanks to one vote by Tennessee, but also asserts that the day should serve as a part of the continuing struggle to achieve equality fully and for all in our democracy. The fight for women's suffrage was long. We remember the first Women's Rights Convention in 1848, the first official Women's Rights Convention, but that was years in the making. We remember some of the names, the strong women and men who came together and argued out loud in public for suffrage for women. I feel like I'm somehow remarkably connected to suffrage at Indiana State, because when I was a sophomore at this university, I was cast in a show that was funded by the National Endowment for the Humanities, which traveled to 22 cities in the state of Indiana. The show was entitled From Suffering to Suffrage, The History of Women's Rights in America. And I was blessed at the age of 19 to portray Lucretia Mott, Elizabeth Cady Stanton, and to watch my colleague students portray Frederick Douglass and Sojourner Truth and the other women and men who stood up and said what is right. The length of the struggle for suffrage meant that most of those who dedicated their lives from the beginning to obtaining votes for women did not live to see their work satisfied. We honor their work today, and every time we as women cast a vote. 1920 was an interesting year, not just for women's suffrage. Of course, we remember that Prohibition began that January, a failed project. And in February, the League of Women Voters was formed, anticipating what was to come. And they continue amazing work. They knew that obtaining voting rights was not enough. Exercising those rights knowledgeably and responsibly was equally important, a task they remained committed to. May in 1920 saw the first game of the Negro National League, which was played in Indianapolis, Indiana. And in August, the resolution establishing women's suffrage was certified as the 19th Amendment to the United States Constitution. And so we gather today, colleagues and friends, together to honor the work of many women and men. I think it's just such an amazing day. Last year, when we had our really first coming together of women, what was so remarkable was to be in a room so crowded with so many amazing women. And there are a lot of women in this room who made this event possible. I especially want to thank a few people like Linda Ferguson and Patty McClintock, who can't be here, but I'm telling you, those two women rock. And when you call them, even on your cell phone while you're driving to school, and ask for things, they're there in your email box when you get to your office, because they rock and they get it done. I also always want to thank the women of the union, as I call them. This is not an organization that's political. It's Anne, and it's Jean, and it's Donna, and it's Sue, and it's all the women of the union who know my craziness backwards and forwards and are still patient and kind and have far better ideas than I could ever come up with. And I really want to thank them for this incredible day. And we recognize today the women professors, the women administrators, the women campus leaders, and the many women who lead community organizations and agencies for the Wabash Valley. Elizabeth Cady Stanton was often quoted. One of my favorite quotes from her is when she talks about being busy. And she says, actually, I find I'm always busy. Perhaps that's why I'm always well. I call that a rationalization, but if it works, I think that's one. As we begin our celebration, we want to thank those who joined together on campus to support this event. This event really is co-sponsored by the Women's Studies Program and Academic Affairs, and we want to thank the Women's Studies Program and the Charlotte Zietlow Faculty Research Grant Selection Committee for their work organizing this and putting it together. The Center for Public Service and Community Engagement, which is headed by Professor Nancy Rogers. The Center for Instruction, Research, and Technology, which is headed by Kelly Wilkinson, Associate Professor in the College of Business. College of Arts and Sciences, headed by Dean Tom Sauer. College of Education, and Dean Brad Welch. The College of Nursing, Health, and Human Services, and Dean Biff Williams. I want to thank them very much. The Indiana State University Foundation, again, is a co-sponsor of this event, and I believe Karen is here. Where'd you go, Karen? There's Karen. And we want to thank the foundation for their support, and the Liberal Studies Program and the College of Arts and Sciences. You can't put an event together without people who say it's a good idea. And I want to tell you that one of the deans, and I won't say which one, did not receive a direct solicitation from me, and instead called and said, I want to give you money. No, it wasn't Tom. And those of you who know him already knew that. There are some other folks here today to welcome you and to provide greetings. And so I would like to invite President Daniel Bradley to the podium to give you a welcome for this day.